Well, good evening and welcome to Fishing with CJ on the beach. I've come down here to Langley Point to fish on my own, but I told Tony about it and Tony couldn't stop himself, so he's come down and joined me for a couple of casts, and already he's had 3 little dabs. So let's have a look at that. Unbelievable, his first cast. I'm still messing around because I cracked off.
3 dabs.
3 dabs. Let's get some more light on it, that's better.
First cast, 1 more cast, I'm going home.
Yeah. I cracked off my first cast. I went out of practice cast. It went zinging out, cracking cast. I thought, yeah, well, I'll repeat that with bait on, and what happened, it cracked off. So I've got to sort that out. So I've got 1 rod out with some worm on, and I'm sorting out the... Oh, hello. Got a bite on that rod though. I have definitely got a bite on there. I want to get this first rod sorted out though, or second rod sorted out. So I'll get that sorted out and then I'll wind that in. Well, at long last, I've got both rods out. It took me ages to sort out the little bird's nest I had on that reel, but I've got both rods out now. So both the traps are set. One on the right has got squid and bluey on it, and the one on the left is just straight worm. All right, so all the time I was setting that up, the rod was knocking and banging, so I'm going to wind that in and see what I've got. So I'll put some light on first so that we can see it, because it's not very bright, is it? Let's turn this light a bit. It's a little bit better. I mean, Tony had that triple shot of dabs, so there's every chance I've got some little flatters or something like that. Let's live in hope. Tide's whooshing across, and I'm probably, there's a good chance I'm over Tony, but we'll see. Right, let's get that in, let's find out. Right, I'm just going to wind this left hand rod in because there was definitely something on there. Whether it's still there or not, it's gone a bit quiet now, but then they do that. There's some weight there. Yeah, might just be that the spines are still in the mud or something. Yeah. And of course, if I do catch something and it's not a whiting or a dogfish, I will do a dance. Oh. I was practicing my moves at my son's wedding, so yours isn't going slack on him, is it? No, right. They're probably bringing my other rig in. Oh. No, yeah. Yeah, I felt it go. Yeah, I might be bringing this other rod in actually. I'm definitely bringing my other rod in. Yeah. Might bring the line in and get it a bit taut. Right, that must be out of the water now. No, it's all right. I'll take the slack out. It's when you got 2 lots of slack lines when you end up with an almighty mess tangle, isn't it? Right, that's still out there now. So well, nothing there. No fish on it, but it's easy to get it off here, which is good. Well, I definitely had a bite, because you can see it's noshed all the worms off here, or I've had the worms all noshed up. But because I was messing around sorting that rod out, it's had enough time to spit the hooks out. But we'll whack that back out and have another go. No, but the baits have all been noshed. Like Tony's winding into something. Oh, there is something there, yeah. Yeah, it looks like a little whiting actually. It's just here. Little whiting and a little dab. It might be my crack off, but that's monofill, so it ain't me. Yeah, it's monofil. We thought the whiting had finished, but this is a monofil crack off. It's not them down there, is it? They've gone, I think.
Put it in. Make sure you put it in.
Well, I'm just going to try and get it off your lid.
Take that off, right there.
Yeah.
I'll just go and chuck out and I'll help you.
All right. Right, so Tony's wound in a whole lot of tackle. So a whole string of monofil here. Not my crack off though. It's a pity. Here we go. Oh, well, I made my lead back.
Tomorrow's horrible.
Yeah, we've got a little window in the weather, haven't we, really? Although it is raining now, but it's not windy.
The good thing about tomorrow, stir it all up.
Yeah.
The wind will get up. So it'll be all good for the weekend when it goes flat. There'll be fish there.
Hopefully.
There's not been nothing there. Not much there. So it won't be a bad thing then. It's going to go up a little bit.
Well, I was getting activity on both rods, but it's gone a bit quiet now. I put the camera on, which is typical.
It might be worth you reeling in because they do
lay up.
Because it's tide there.
Yeah.
They lay there afterwards.
Yeah,
You don't see them.
Yeah.
I don't know though. It's best to leave it a little while. Not an hour like I did.
No.
Blew all my chances of winning.
Yeah, I mean the ray bait's been out a while now, so if there is little crabs and stuff, it would have got mullered anyway. So I might bring the worm in, freshen it up, whack it out, and then bring the other one in and whack that out, and then just sit and have a cup of tea and a piece of cake. Right, let's wind it in and see what happens. If anything happens, I will start the camera again. Right. So Tony's showing me why he's oh hello, no, I've got a rattling bite. Oh, I've got a rattling bite of both my rods.
Have you?
Yes, yeah. Don't think so, because it's not like someone winding in, it was two tugs.
I'm well up here, it ain't come out
no.
this morning. Oh, you had a nice bite on that.
Yeah. No, I just then had a good bite. All right.
Don't know until this comes out. It ain't quite come out yet.
All right, well, I'll put the camera back on when something happens. Right, so Tony's just had a cracking bite, as we know, but when he wound in, they were gone.
I'm tempted to have another go now. I don't know why.
It's 3 minutes to 9, Tone.
Right, well, I'm getting home. I'm going to have one more chuck and I'm home.
You said that last time.
I know, I'm not going your shelter.
All
I
right.
can't go home on a blank, a dry run, can I?
Well, you haven't had a blank, have you?
See it there, look. Annihilated it, look.
Yeah.
Whatever it was. You think?
That's how my rig, when I brought in just now, was like that. So the next time I get some activity on this, I will wind into it, I think. It's been there a while. I have got the secret tonight. I have got tea and a cake. So if all else fails, I will have a cup of tea and a piece of cake.
Come on, slap line me up and go home.
Yeah, Tony's got another rattle on there, look. Yeah, but you said you had some big tugs beforehand, so...
Couple.
Yeah, they're still going.
It's not dogfish material, though.
That's like little channel whiting material, isn't it?
Right. They'll come when that water comes up.
Yeah.
You'll get them.
Yeah.
I'll be long gone in bed.
Or in the bath.
Or in the bath, whatever.
Yeah. Right, I'm going to leave that going while I tackle up my rod and get it out, otherwise I'm not fishing. So, Tony's going home now, so he's going to leave me some fish. He's going happy. He's had a nice little bass, little schoolie, a nice, and a little place. And a big whiting. That's a big whiting, isn't it? That'd be, yeah. Yeah.
Nice one.
Nicely.
Go home with a blank, but I'm fed up with getting wet.
No.
Sorry.
Right, it's alright. So he's going to leave me some of his magic worms.
What happened last night? Look. That would have done last night, wouldn't it?
That would have done, wouldn't it? That's probably more than they're catching down the end there. There is a competition down by the angling club tonight, but when we last spoke to someone down there, spoke to Chris, they weren't catching the grade. Oh, hello. That's my big squid bait on there.
Yeah, I'll bet it's been 35, Chris.
Right, that's my ray bait, dogfish bait, or anything else other than place bait. That's definitely going just then.
34 centimetres, huh?
Really?
Yeah, beautiful.
Nice one.
Look at that. Nice little bass.
Yeah. And a little place. Who says you can't catch place in the dark? Albeit the little ones.
Can see. I
Yeah.
do keep going on about
Yeah.
it, but
They're probably just hungry. They move around a lot.
if you land on one, you
Yeah.
catch it.
but they're probably hungry and they're moving around a lot. They're in competition,
if they're hungry enough, but
yeah.
you do find you don't get hundreds of them.
Yeah.
Like last night, I said when it was clear, they were catching quite a lot, weren't they?
Yeah, no, quite. And it was a full moon right over the bay last night, so we're casting into the moon.
Look at that, you've got nearly 1 full in. Should have another chuck. No, I'm going home.
Go on, Tony, have another chuck.
No. Going home. I'm happy. Going with a blank.
Lovely little brace of fish. A nice little threesome to finish on. And for species points, it'd give you 30 points, that wouldn't it? Just for the species.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, Tony's gone now, so I can actually concentrate because it's a bit hard to fish, film and be chatting to somebody. Plus 3 lines out there was a bit of a tangle. I've got a cup of tea and a piece of cake, and I haven't even had a bite on the cake yet, and I've got a bite on the right end rod. So it just goes to show that the cake and the cup of tea really work. So let's watch that for a bit and see if it develops. There's 2 hooks on there, so... Well, it isn't a blank, shall we say. It is not a blank, but I do not do a dance for a whiting. So it has to be something a little bit better than that. But, yeah, that's the result. Happy days. I've broken me duck, shall we say. Don't have to get not a Blancosaurus out, which is nice. So let's get this little fella back. It's only lip hooked, isn't he? Probably explains why we're getting loads of rob baits, is they're robbing the baits and spitting the hooks. Yeah, let's get him back in the water. And away! And he's swimming. Got a good little rattle on the left hand rod there, which is squid and bluey. And you can probably hear I'm eating cake and drinking tea. Always happens, doesn't it? I figure it might be a dogfish on the left hand rod. Put the camera on, it stops. Actually got a bit of activity on the right hand rod as well. We're going to have to move soon. If it does something again, I will wind into it. Come on. Don't be camera shy. That was, I don't know if you saw that, that was quite a good bite. It's probably slack limey actually. Yeah, there's something going on there, isn't there? So let's wind it in. Well, it's a bit early to call it, but I think there's something on there. Maybe not. Well, doubly not a blank. Another little whiting. Obviously undersized, but a fish nonetheless. So let's get him off. Other bait's been robbed completely. Did think how long it's been on there for. The other bait has been well noshed at, so I'm suspecting I probably had a couple. One of them managed to get away. Lively enough. So let's get him back into the briny. Whoops. Whoops. And away. And it is raining. Right, I'll get you back onto the camera when things start to happen. Activity on that right hand rod. So it was bouncing quite well just now. We'll give it a little bit longer. There's 2 baits on there. A double hitter of something interesting will make it all worthwhile and might warrant a bit of security music. But of course, put the camera on it and it all stops. Now, I've had 2 whiting tonight, 2 little whiting at that. But you know something, I'm really enjoying this. It's so good. So good to be out fishing and not in a competition or anything, and I can make mistakes and I'm under no pressure. It's great. So, fishing, hey, love it. I want to put my flashy lights on those rod tips actually, perhaps I should do that. I've got any battery left in them. Right, so put the camera on it, it stopped. So we'll put the camera back on again when something happens. Getting a cup of tea again. It's resulted in one little whiting when we did it before. Let's see if it can't result in something a little bit more like a target species. And as usual, I'm not declaring my target species because it always jinxes it. But you'll know when we hit the target species because we will cue some music. It's definitely, that left hand rod is still going. So let's get a bit of cake in me cake hole and see if we get a bite. Oh. Oh yes, something happening there. Oh. Right, it is raining quite. It's not pissing down, it's drizzling, but it's quite sustained on it. Not feeling anything tugging on there. I'm bringing my other rod in, I think. Yeah, most definitely bringing the other one in. Ooh, hoo hoo hoo, hoo 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 hoo. Oh. Well, there we go, a dogfish. So there we go. Get it back. Don't do a dance for a dogfish. So we don't do a dance for a whiting and we don't do a dance for a dogfish, but pleased to see it nonetheless. Well, I just had a whacking bite on the left hand rod, like real good little tug. Certainly wasn't a whiting bite. Oh, and again. Dogfish maybe. Bass, could be a little bass, couldn't it? You get a dance for a bass, you will get a dance for a bass. Oh, and again. I'm not sure that as a bass, you know.
still going, isn't it? So, tell me people, should I leave it or should I wind it in? Someone tell me, what should I do? Should I leave it or should I wind it in? Come on, I'll do what you tell me to do. Tell me, what should I do? What should I do? I think the next big tug I'm going to lift the rod up and see if I can wind it and I get a tug in the rod. We'll do that. Whatever it is, it won't be big. It will not be big, but quite aggressive little bite. Nothing happening now. Oh, there we go. There we go. Well, it ain't tugging. It ain't tugging. Have I missed it? There's a bit of weight there. Maybe there is something there. Could be a little place. Oh. After all that, it is a silly little whiting. Look at that. Who would have thought those bites would come from that silly little fish? So, another silly little whiting. Very disappointed with that, very disappointed, I have to say. Well, there you go. Left that out for a long time and got a nice big fat dogfish on it. Thought it was heavy coming in. Big fat old boy. Well, turning into a bit of a doggy fest, isn't it? Have a little doggy. Another little doggy. He's woofed that down. Right, I'll get him unhooked and get him back. We are coming to the end of the session now. I'm not sure what the time is, but it must be the top of the tide virtually. I'm going to give it till just after. Oh, it's midnight, is it? Okay, well, I kind of said I was going to give it till midnight. I'll give it a little bit longer. I've got a few worms left, I might as well use them.
It was becoming a bit of a dogfish fest towards the end. I did have a couple one after the other. Not really fishing for them, but you can't get away from them. And I was pleased to see them. And in fact, you know, all I've caught is whiting and dogfish tonight. And I've really enjoyed it. It's been really good. Maybe I'll give it the first hour of the ebb, give it till 1 o'clock, and then stack it then. Mate, it is so good to be out. You know, I know that as a lot of people say that fishing is good for your psychological state, and I have to say it is so good for you to get out, you against the elements. I mean, it's a shit night. I mean, it's raining, it's drizzling quite hard. Just had a cracking bite on the left-hand rod. Got a bit of activity. Oh! Got a cracking bite on the right-hand rod now. It becomes a question as to which one I go for. Let's see what develops. Oh, right-hand rod, I think it is. Oh yes, probably a silly little whiting again. It's sod's law, isn't it? You put the camera on it and it stops. Go on, give us another big knock. Or a slack line or something. That's exactly the sort of bite I had when I had that stupid little ting just now. Let's just wind this one up a bit. Get some tightness in it. Yep. Let's have this one in and let's see if there's something still on there. Dogfish seem to go dormant, don't they? Not much going on, I think. There ain't a great deal on there, but the lead had broken out, so if there is something there, it's tiny. No. Oh no. Look at that. That is definitely punching above its weight. Here's the camera. That is ridiculous. I have to say, that is ridiculous. Look at the size of that. That has got to be the tiniest whiting ever caught on a hook. The bait was definitely bigger than this fish. Definitely. It would be a good live bait, however. And away! But mull of this bait, that probably explains why all the baits are coming in chewed up, if that's what we're getting out there, tiny little things like that. Right, well that's been well noshed, isn't it? Hooks turned round and everything. So I suspect we have been doggy fished. Let's get a fresh bait on there and get it back out. This is the bait I've been using tonight for rays. It's a pre-made squid and bluey cocktail. They come from Devon Baits Limited, and they're not cheap. And you could do your own, but I just couldn't be bothered, so I bought some.
and they're good. They're all tied, you know, they're all elasticated together. Yeah, they're good. They're good. I ought to get it together and buy some bluey and some squid and make my own, really. It's not hard to do, would it be? And then freeze them myself. Certainly save me some money, because as I say, they're not cheap. And I like to I use a bait mate to put these on, and I put the squid on the outside because it's a little bit more durable for the elastic than the bluey, which the elastic will cut into the bluey. Fishing a pennel hook on here, so only to keep it straight. Cinch that on. Whoops. Slide it off the bait mate, trying to keep the elastic in place. That's nicely bundled up, hook's nicely exposed, and then we just put a couple of wraps around the pennel hook and then hook that through the top of the bait, and it just keeps it straight on the line. So a nice little bait there, nice exposed hook. Let's whack that out, and I think this is probably my last bait. I'm fishing this on a running ledger. This is a Trident running ledger. It's quite stiff actually, so it yeah, I quite like that. And then it goes up over little Trident clip there, and then pull it down, and I've got a Gemini bait clip here. I like these because they're a little bit more robust than just clipping it on the lead, because when I do an off ground cast, it just means it stays clipped in. The one thing you've got to watch with these Geminis, you don't want to put the hook through that little hole there, because it's obviously not going to come out. This works because when this splashes down, that releases the bait. That's it. Right, let's whack this out and see if we can't catch the target species in the last half an hour of our fishing. Right, well, those hooks are well and truly polished, so there was definitely activity on that rod. I saw it, but it was an activity of them robbing my bait. So those hooks have been polished. There was not even the faintest trace of bait on there, so that's what was going on there. It's only a little white. Last fish, last chuck, last winding of the night. Little doggy. So finished off with one little doggy. So I think that's it. Good night all. We're gonna pack everything away and go home. So thanks very much for joining me. Hang on, let's turn this light off so I'm not dazzling everybody. Wipe this lens off a bit. Well, it was an interesting night. It wasn't a blank. We had a few dogfish, we had a few whiting. So it's not a Blancosaurus, didn't have to come out of his box. So thanks very much for joining me. Keep safe, keep sane, keep fishing. Catch you on the next one. Postscript. So I'm packing away and I can see something shining at me in the surf. Initially I thought it was a fox looking at me, but when I turned my light away I could still see it. So I went out and had an investigate, and there's my tip light. So it's been out to sea, it's come back again, and it's still glowing. So happy days. Catch you later.